Amy Klobuchar or you're Pete Buttigieg and you're more centrist, and you know that there are a lot of voters out there who think that an Elizabeth Warren or a Bernie Sanders cannot beat Donald Trump, that it actually helps you, or do you brush it off and say he's still our best hope?
I think that's where a lot of candidates see a lot of opportunity. What we know from all of the polls, including his, including Sanders, including Warren, is that while support may be there, it shows them as running above other candidates. It's still soft support. And a lot of voters are saying, I still have top 5, I still have top 3. I'm still looking to see who really breaks out and connects with me. And I think that's why I think basically every candidate last night started with anecdotes in almost all of their answers. They phrased all of their answers in talking about a particular type of story or a person they had met on the trail. And I think they're trying to pick up those soft support voters who are still basically up for grabs.
And there's always the question in these debates, how hard do you go? Does Democrat go after Democrat? Do you worry about people perceiving that you're hurting somebody else who might indeed end up the nominee? There was you could call it an uncomfortable moment between Biden and Warren over the creation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let's play that.
I agreed with the great job she did, and I went on the floor and got you votes. I got votes for that bill. I convinced people to vote for it. So let's get those things straight, too.
Senator Warren, do you want to respond?
I am deeply grateful to President Obama, who fought so hard to make sure that agency was passed into law. And I am deeply grateful to every single person who fought for it and who helped pass it into law. But understand—
You did a hell of a job in your job.
Thank you.
Serlina just crossed her eyes.
I did, I'm sorry. Every woman knows what the tone of that thank you means, because I found that moment to be very uncomfortable and condescending, and I actually felt the tension through the television, because men should just know they shouldn't scream at you, ever, but certainly not when they're standing directly next to you. So there was a level of discomfort that I think there is a gender analysis you can overlay and say, look, you can disagree with her point or feel you did more than she's giving you credit for. But the fact of the matter is you can go to her book, you can go to all of the reporting at the time. She was right on the facts. So on top of the fact that he was yelling at her about this and saying, well, you were good at your job.
Yeah, if you're a Biden supporter, you could also say he was the guy. It wasn't Barack Obama who was rounding up votes for that administration, right? It indeed was the relationships that Joe Biden had. But tonally, I wonder if either side helped themselves with that exchange, if it just felt uncomfortable on both sides. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But let me ask you about Senator Warren's criticism. One of the places that she faced criticism was for the language she uses surrounding the wealth tax. Senator Klobuchar criticized her for acting as if she's the only candidate interested in taxing billionaires. Here's that.
I want to give a reality check here to Elizabeth, because no one on this stage wants to protect billionaires. Not even the billionaire wants to protect billionaires. We just have different approaches. Your idea is not the only idea.
What'd you make of that exchange?
I thought it was a good moment for Klobuchar. I thought she defined her values and defined the idea that she's been trying to make in a couple of different issues, that there's more than one way to get to the same goal. And even if it's not a specific policy, you can still support the underlying idea and support the underlying values and just have a different way to get to it. Has been trying to make that point. And I actually think a couple of the candidates, particularly the more moderate candidates, have been trying to make that point. So I thought it was one of those moments that really helped her. I also think that from Warren's perspective, I don't know that she had the clearest answer on a lot of things. I thought every one of the attacks that came to her, she could have anticipated. Yeah. Everybody knew that going into this race, she is now the front runner, and she became the front runner since the last debate. So every one of those attacks should have actually, I thought, been better anticipated, and she could have had clearer answers for them.
Yeah, I sometimes, when I've talked to people who have done debate prep, they say often that's over preparation, too many cooks involved in the soup. They know the questions are coming. They're just, I don't know. There's not clarity in how to answer it. I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to get in trouble. Emily Tish Sussman.
I don't want to get into trouble.
Zerlina Maxwell, who doesn't want me to get into trouble for going long. Thank you both. Very much. Up next, we're going to go live to northern Iraq. NBC's Matt Bradley just got back from a refugee camp near the Syria border, where nearly 1,000 Syrian Kurds just arrived, fleeing the horrors of the Turkish invasion. This is all happening as one of President Trump's staunchest allies speaks out about the decision to pull U.S. troops from northern